Definitely trying something new today. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. What's up? I guess I'm live. I guess it's working, huh? Trying something new. Yep, it's working. Awesome. What's up, Alexis? What's up, Snookies? What's up, Mike Jones? Look at that. We're back to this old program. We do all this kind of stuff. Alright, let me go share this thing out here real quick. Okay, couple, drink, boat. I gotta turn that up. Wrong one. Keep him in check along with John Wick and Steve Pence. Johnny Yuma, he got the right diet. There we go. Okay, let me share this out. What's up, Mike Jones? You better ask somebody, fool. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Solomon. Yo, we don't play around. Sexy Lexi. Who's Sexy Lexi? You can ride. Excuse me. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 mods for the trolls. Let's roll. What's up, Carla, Andy, in Colorado, Nagasaki, Dara, Nicole. We all proud Americans, got rides a Harley. Oh, Snooki down, she says hi. Graw had a great show. What show did Graw do today? I missed it. Slam another beer. Teresa and Josephine, all patriots. Yeah, we know the team. Diaz brothers keeping their eyes peeled. Biden sucks. Yeah, we seen the steal. Lisa D and AJ Alexander, my love and my mini me, you my man, bro. Penelope, DJT and Sugar and Brownie and Panda and Rooster. Bree and Al from Idaho. Downs and Dorothy ain't no rhinos. Everybody in the chat no shady links. Okay. Write another verse, Corey's paying me. Okay, Snookies. Yeah, we's a mega stars. Eden, Daisy, and Kelly. Titty 1, Titty 2. It's time to rally. Yo, it's the Eddie Block Show. Got them all. On the side, ready, let's go. What's up, Polly Wally? It's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 mods for the trolls. Let's roll. I think I did them all already. Got Polly Wally here. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle. Surprised Drunk Uncle isn't here yet. Hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and Drunk Uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 miles for the trolls. Let's roll. Let's see, where is he at? What's up, Sagittarius? Everybody have a good weekend. Hope y'all had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. I won a big old poker tournament. Well, not won. I got 3rd place last night. Spent $5.50. And we made some good money. And I started messing. I got this an old program I'm using over again. And then I finally started learning how to use better the Stream Deck little thing that I have right here.
You forgot the one in the chamber. You know, so I got all kinds of stuff. Like, I've been downloading and adding stuff to this. Like, I got something, every time we gotta play, AOC, I got a little sound for her. Right? What's up, Mordecai? What's up, Mordecai? When Drunk Uncle finally does show up, I even got a little noise for Drunk Uncle when it's the Drunk Uncle time. Because it used to be a DJ. Right? We can announce Drunk Uncle there. What else do we have? Oh, for my court stuff.
I said good day.
Truth. What's the? Oh, you can't handle the truth. Oh yeah, so I got some funny ones. I've downloaded and I made.
Hey, don't knock masturbation. It's sex with someone I love.
Okay, I gotta turn that one up. Now that I'm hearing it, I gotta turn that one up. Right, because that one wasn't loud enough. At least it wasn't loud enough to me.
Hey, don't knock masturbation. It's sex with someone I love.
Who knows what movie that's from? Let's see, we gotta... Uh-oh, that one's not working? Ruh-roh. Hold on, I gotta fix this. I gotta fix one. See, I'm still working on them all. Now let's see if it works.
That's what she said.
There we go, we got it. That's what she said. I think I gotta find a better one of that. Let's see. What's up, Gra? You doing okay today, Gra? You see you're not chatting much. This is, who is this? This is probably Corinne.
I'm dead sexy. Look at my sexy body. Oh, yeah.
Who knows what movie that one's from? Let's see. This one's gonna be, I got a couple for Joe Biden. This one's for Joe Biden.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
That's for Joe Biden, or we got this one for Joe Biden.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this.
So, you know, we got that. I don't know what I'll use the rooster for. Then for like the police, you know. Whenever somebody says something bad or does something bad or... I gotta make one that says shut it for Drunk Uncle. Just zip it. That's what I gotta do, the zip it for Drunk Uncle, huh? Anyways, how's everybody's weekend? I streamed Friday night. I missed On Patrol because I thought there was gonna be some action. There was no action. There was no rioting over the weekends. Can you guys believe that? I'm surprised. I thought there was gonna be some rioting. What about you guys? Am I the only one that thought there was gonna be rioting this weekend? What the hell? Where is... Oh, wait. Oh, he's headed home now. Ah, okay. So he's running a little bit late. Oh, he had to work today, I guess. Let's see. What else? What's up? What's up, the Stevens brothers and sisters? Oh, my goodness. Am I getting cold or what? Remember how I told you guys my stepdad ordered a pool today? He ordered a pool. I mean, he came in today. Freaking... Couldn't sleep at all last night. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm still awake. He calls me at 9 o'clock every day. He calls me, wakes me up. The pool's coming today. I was like, yeah, I know. Well, don't worry about it. Oh no, yeah, but, you know, it snowed last night. How's the truck gonna get down here? How do we even know if the truck's gonna be able to come up here? And just like, and I was like, David, don't worry, calm down. We'll get it. It'll come up. So they got here around noon, you know, because he bought it through Amazon, and so they have a little tracker, and it's got the GPS tracker where it is and stuff like that. And so I'm up there waiting, and I took up my truck, and their truck pulls up, and it's like a pool, and it weighs like 300 pounds or something like that. And a girl and a guy show up, and I'm just like, and it was a super hot girl. You know, I'm like, how is this chick, you know, gonna lift this pool up? And sure enough, she not only lifted the truck, but lifted it up, but they got it on top of my big ass truck. She was cute. I was trying to flirt. Ooh. Anyways. That's what happened to us today. But yeah, it snowed. It snowed pretty much all day yesterday. Went and had dinner with, Sunday nights we do pizza at my stepdad's. I had to watch football with them, and Kansas City Chiefs, watch that game. Oh my goodness. The Bengals, you screwed up. Very last play of the game, or the second to last play of the game, you screwed up. I'm not a football watcher and stuff, but, Let's see. I got a lot of people that don't have, like Mike Jones, let's see, Mordecai, you got to add some kind of a picture. Look, so when I click on your name, even if it's like a logo, because look, Snooks won't show her picture, but at least Snookies has something there. You got to get an avatar. See, look, Nomad has an avatar. What's up, Nomad? Mordecai, you don't have one. See, look, Sagittarius has one. Who else? Alexis, you need to either get some kind of picture or an avatar up there. Paulie Wally, Paul, I gotta steal this one from you. I like this. Get the F out of here. Mike Jones, you don't even have nothing. You know what you should do? You should put a little picture of, why isn't this working? There we go. Mike Jones, you need to put a little picture of, the real Mike Jones, the rapper up there. Who else doesn't have a picture up here? That's about it. Everybody else is cool. Like Nightbot, Nightbot has an avatar. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Joe Beard? See, Joe Beard's got his avatar up there. Sagittarius, that's you? Okay. So Sagittarius says, this is me. Nice. Well, I guess I'll get started on the news, and as soon as I do, Drunk Uncle's happy ass is going to show up. Watch. Drunk Uncle's going to come right on in. We're going to interrupt the news. Because that's just what Drunk Uncle does. But let's get started. Copy link. Put it right here. And then we can go to... I think I got this all working out now. Look at this. Hold on. We got it. Oops. I gotta stop their stupid commercials. All right, look at this. So I don't know if you guys heard, they putting up all these illegal aliens in hotel rooms and stuff like that over there in freaking Crowd Rides a Harley. With all the ladies need to put up pictures of their boobs on their avatar. Yeah, I don't think we get away with that, girl. I think we get in a lot of trouble for that one. But so all these illegal aliens here. They put them up in hotels like in New York City and stuff like that. Well, get this. So now they're trying to get them to leave and move. And they won't move. They're just like, forget that. We're staying right here. Let's see. It says a group of illegal migrants. Why don't they just say illegal aliens? Just say illegal aliens. Who entered into the U.S. through the southern border are refusing to leave their free. Get that, free. Are you getting some? Is anybody else getting any buffering? I got this new program and there shouldn't be buffering, but who knows? So we had problems with this program before. That's why I stopped using it. So if you have buffering, let me know. But anyways, so they're refusing to leave their free New York City hotel rooms for a migrant shelter in Brooklyn, New York, sleeping in the street to protest. Well, that's kind of stupid, don't you think? What's up, Matt Rogers? That's kind of stupid. Freaking the illegal aliens were initially placed at Watson Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. Watson Motel. Let's look up Watson Motel or Hotel. Watson Hotel Midtown. Let's see what this thing looks like. The hotel's in Manhattan. The Watson thrives. Connection is... So what? That's weird. What's going on? I haven't had that. I haven't really seen that in a while. Now this thing's in the way. Okay, let's try this one. How do I get rid of this? That's really weird. Well, this one's working. Okay, well, I guess I can't look it up. Having some issues here with my internet, I guess. No mention of the maybe believe the. Mordecai. See, look at that. I say something. Mordecai puts a picture up. Ooh, with Ted Cruz. Anyway, so the migrants were initially placed at the Watson Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, but they're scheduled for relocation to a new migrant relief center. The Brooklyn Cruise Terminal caused uproar late Saturday night. So what are they doing? So now what they're doing is they're sleeping in the street to protest. Well, we don't want to go here because we like this nice hotel. So instead, we're just going to sleep on the street. That's kind of freaking stupid. Stupid, if you ask me. Stupid is what stupid does. Oh, you know what? I think I can. Let me see. I got a window here. I used to have one at least that would tell me bandwidth. Oh, I don't get that because see, that's an extra $16 a month for this program to add on to that. Oh wait, forget that. Excuse me. So the migrants. So while some migrant, I'm in the wrong page. While some migrants left for new shelter, many refused to vacate the Hell's Kitchen Hotel and rallied outside the building alongside migrant activists. The migrants who were non-compliant in the city's relocation spent the night outside the hotel and were seen holding their ground. How is that smart? So I don't want to go to this other place, so instead I'm going to sleep on the ground. That's how, you know, they're not exactly sending over their best and brightest, folks. They're not sending over their best and brightest. So the Democrat Mayor Eric Adams responded to the situation, affirming that new facilities were hospitable accommodations and nothing to dire need of state and government support amid the ongoing migrant crisis. Look at all these guys just hanging outside, wearing their masks. This weekend, we began the process of moving single adult men from the Watson Hotel to the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal. Now, real quick, just so you guys know, we're the ones paying for these freaking hotels, right? Because they're getting federal funding for this, to pay for this, right? They're getting federal funding for this. But yet, that's the problem. I say we get rid of all these. You know, we need to stop bringing in illegal aliens. You watch other countries. Other countries don't let that stuff happen. Jeez, there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat today. So several of the illegal aliens who went to the new center immediately turned around and went back to the Watson Hotel, claiming there was a lack of heat and bathroom space at the facility. Don't you just love this? These people are getting free room and board, and they're bitching about it. Can you believe that? That's like one time me and my buddy, a couple of buddies of mine, were out feeding the homeless, and we were feeding them hot dogs. And this one lady's like, "This is bullshit. You guys can afford more than hot dogs and chips and sodas for us and water. We want some steaks. You need to give them steaks." What kind of bullshit is that? That just shows you what people, that just shows you what people think of our country. They don't give a shit. They really don't. They're like, oh, we just want free stuff, free this, free everything. That's all they want is free, 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 free. And our country's giving it to them. That's why our country is in the position it is. Do they do that shit do they do that stuff over there in China? Do they do that in Germany? I bet you they don't do that in Russia either. What about Venezuela? Go to one of those places. Man, I couldn't even say that to my mom. Remember when you were kids? Anybody else was a kid like me? And you'd be like, "Hey, Mom, what's for dinner?" My mom would say, "What's for dinner is what I put on the table." Well, what if I don't like it? It don't matter if you don't like it. You're going to eat it. Because that's what you get. Right? Anybody's mom used to say that? My mom said it to me in Dutch. I'd be like, "What's for dinner?" It was some H word or whatever. I don't even understand it. And she'd say this saying in Dutch. And I remember when I was a kid, I'm like, "Well, what does that mean?" She's like, "It means eat it." I'm like, "All right, Mom. All right." Let's see. Matt says, and they're just going to have giant parties and destroying the place, right? They're living the rock star life. They're living the rock star life. Mike Jones says the left cares nothing about immigrants. They only put them up to temporary to agitate. Actually, I think you're wrong there, Mike. So this is all big business, guys. This is big business. And I'm going to explain to you how it's big business. So think about this. They send them to New York, right? They got to put them up in a hotel. Well, they go to this hotel place, and they're like, hey, you know what? We'll buy all your rooms. We'll sell you out. But then you got to give me a kickback for every single room you get. There's kickbacks involved somewhere, right? Or it's their friends, or, you got to donate to my campaign next time. Then it comes to the food places, right? So my buddy Ty, where he lives, he goes to this place and he knows of this place where people live, and so because of the pandemic, restaurants were getting paid to make food, and what they had to do was they had to then take the food to go take them to the homeless, stuff like that, right? So these people that own restaurants are getting paid to make the food because they have to, but it's guaranteed money. And then they got to give kickbacks in some form or way back to, because, not every restaurant got chose to get this money, right? The Watson Hotel got chose this. Other hotels didn't get chose this. And I actually probably, if I was a hotel owner, I don't know if I would like that. Uh-oh, Hope is here. Hope is here. Cool, hold on, I gotta answer this. Sorry, I'm gonna go to the Tulare Ag Show, and my friend normally gives me free tickets because he owns a company. And 1 second, I have something. So he owns an agriculture company. He builds these things called pivots. Uh-oh, Drunk Uncle's here. So he builds these things called pivots. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Nope. All right, frick. I got to clone Discord again. 1 second. Just 1 second. Oh, wait. 1 second. Hold on. That might be my fault. I'm going to use a new program. Hold on a second, guys. I got to get this set up for Drunk. User settings. Voice and I forgot. No, we're on Roadcaster, so it should be working. Okay, I gotta quit. If it's not one thing here, it's another. I'm always changing stuff. It's my fault. It's my fault. Now let's come back on. Is that Watson a five-star hotel? Hope, could you look up that hotel for me real quick while I'm doing this? She's always good at that. Just tell me if that's a 5-star hotel. And Sagittarius, no, I have not seen the movie 1408. What is that movie about? Drunk Uncle, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know why this keeps doing this. It's pissing me off.
Punch it in the throat.
Punch it in the throat. Hold on, let me put you on screen. I remember that program that I stopped using because it kept freezing. I went back to it. See, now my picture's gone. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Oh wait, Drunk Uncle is here. I'm using my soundboard. I got a new sound for you. So every time Drunk Uncle comes on the show, because he used to be a DJ. Can you hear that?
Yeah, boy.
See? So you got your own little sound. You got your own little sound mixing board now, Drunk Uncle. A little thing. I got one for Mordecai says I got one for AOC too.
Oh, Wilbur.
A horse is a horse, of course, and nobody can talk to a horse, of course. What's up, Aha? Aha, isn't that a song? Isn't that the group? Take on me. Remember that song? Take me on.
It's a good song.
I don't know. The Watson Hotel in New York City, in Manhattan, Hope. Anyway, so how was your day at work today?
It was all right. Kind of busy, kind of not. It was like waves.
Kind of dizzy, huh? I'm tired. I had a bad day. I didn't get no sleep last night.
Busy, not dizzy.
Oh, busy. I gotcha. I'm gonna start playing with all this stuff. I ate that whole. Remember how we talked about? We were reading the candy bar. You know the special candy bars that I have.
Yeah.
I ate the whole freaking thing last night. Not the super strong one, just the other one that I already opened. And so after like an hour, it started feeling almost like when I take like oxycodone or something. You know, you get that like just like stress release, and then nothing happened. But I couldn't go to sleep until 4 o'clock in the morning.
You're just gonna have to jump head
bigger
first
one?
and take like 6 to 8 pieces of that polka dot stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this one next. So that's the one I'm gonna try next.
Give it about a week though. You gotta let your, can't be building up a tolerance, or you're never gonna get anywhere. You're just gonna be wasting money.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it on Sundays. What's up, Ultimate? Reminds me of Puerto Rico. 6 months to get the power back on and bulldozer to knock it down. Aha says no, not that song. You read they booted 1,000 single men out so they could put new families in the rooms. Is that what they're saying? I don't know. So anyways, how was your weekend?
Just worked.
Did you work? You didn't train then today, did you?
No, that's tomorrow.
That's why. Okay. So tomorrow you're going to show up to the show drunk as hell. Is that time to kill?
Possibly. I'm still trying to figure out a way to make that better, but yeah.
Dude, Johnny sent me some pictures today. There's like he's got as much snow as I do, but he said it's only 20 or 19 negative 19 degrees today, and there was a rainbow on his house. Let's see if we can. So this is from Johnny's house, or I should say, Time to Kill.
Gotcha.
He woke me up with that picture this morning too. Another person that woke me up early. 1408. What's that movie 1408? What is that movie?
I don't know. Never heard of it.
I'm looking it up right now. Hopefully if my internet works, yeah. 1408 is a 2007 American psychological horror film based on Stephen King's 1999 short story in the same name. Oh, it's a Stephen King thing. It's a sun halo. You'd rather be able to eat some of your candy than always be eating my Percocets like candy. Nomad, you don't have weed in your state? That sucks.
Oh, the Percocets, man, that's hard. That's not lightweight stuff.
Yeah. And this is actually different this is not my normal weed candy. I went to this church that's legal here in California and got some this is magic mushroom candy bars. I tell you what though, so last night I was focused. I played a poker tournament and out of 700 and some odd people I got third place.
Yeah.
It was $5.50 to join the poker tournament. I sat there, I took this, and then I started like half an hour later, the poker tournament, played for like 4 hours, played great. So maybe every time I play poker, I should take some.
Yeah, you're still microdosing. I was telling Chappie about that, like the way that you were feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of, the last time you done it, you were saying, oh, I'm like super focused. I'm super focused. And then I think it was one of the nights that Steven Crowder had put out something. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, you're talking about something that he done like 2 days ago. The new video, you need to watch it. It was like 15 minutes long or something like that.
Yeah.
You kept saying you were focused, but we got 2 minutes through that video and you're like, I can't watch this anymore. It's too long. But then like 45 minutes down the road, you decided that you wanted to watch a video that was like 20 or 30 minutes long. And so I told that to her, and she's like, "Oh, yeah. He's focused, but he's focused on what he wants to focus on."
Because it's all about me.
Yeah, but she was telling me like when she microdoses, like she does feel that. So you're still in the microdose kind of.
I gotcha. Alexis, I won 200. So I spent $5.50, and when I cashed out for third place, I got $243. So not bad for 4 hours. No mess. It's not even. It's not legal here. See, I want. This is the main reason why I went back to this program. It's easier, and I can do this. It's not legal here, not even for medical use. I could get it, but I'm on a paying contract, and it wouldn't look good for my disability case. If my doctor, yep, I gotcha. I had the same issue. Kaiser stopped giving me my pain meds because of it. So I totally get what you're going through. It sucks. It really does.
Yeah. Where in the world do you live that you can't even get CBD or Delta 8? The only places I've heard that you can't get Delta 8 is places where it's fully legal.
Well, here's the issue with that.
Just the pain clinic. I understand that.
Well, no, because even if you get the Delta 8, right, it still shows up as THC. So if he goes and every time, like Kaiser would give me pain meds, I'd have to go take a drug test before they would give me the pain meds. So in order to get your pain meds, you got to take the drug test, and Delta 8, while it's legal, is still THC, and it still shows up in your test as THC.
But federally legal. What you're supposed to do is tell them, and a lot of places, they just don't want to do it because it costs them extra money.
Mm-hmm.
But they're now federally supposed to be testing, unless you're in some weird state that I don't know of, that you just no THC whatsoever, then they be testing for Delta 9, not Delta 8. So many people have been like, oh, I tested hot. What am I going to do? I said, this is what you do. You go back, tell your employer, I want you to send it off for further analysis, and it should come back under the federal guidelines of 0.3% Delta 9 THC as to 2018 Farm Bill. And there was only one person that came back and said that they couldn't keep their job, and that's because they had CDLs, which they don't. Yeah, they don't make exemptions for that. But everybody else that just cannot do it, all pain clinics or doctors. And I was like, that's so crazy. So like, you're getting prescribed like opiates or whatever, your Oxycontins, your fentanyl, blah 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 blah. So it's totally cool. Like if you go out and just shoot heroin the whole time and come back and refill your script, that's totally fine. But THC, you're like, yeah, it's silly. But I was like, yes, it's pretty odd that they, have like a hard line against like THC, but really have no idea if you're out there mainlining heroin,
right?
That it just shows opiates.
Well, so like I remember I was sitting at my doctor's office, and this is when I was married, and we're in the office, and the doctor tells me, she's like, okay, well we tested your blood, and it says that you have THC in your system, so we can't give you your pain meds. And I was like, you give me 100 pain meds a month. I said, how many times have I refilled them in the last year? She's like, or she's looking at the computer, and she's like, well, it looks like you only refilled them twice. I said, yeah, when I'm supposed to refill them every month. I said, because I use the weed instead of the pain meds. I use the pain meds for when I do something that hurts really bad. And she's like, that's because you're addicted to weed. She's like, I'll give you as many oxycodones as you want as long as you don't touch the weed. I said, but the oxycodones is worse than the weed. And the lady was just like, well, I don't care.
Yeah, they want you addicted to their product.
Yeah. And so when she called me addicted, like like I said, I was married at the time, and my wife just went, how dare you call my fucking husband addicted and blah, blah, blah. He does this because weed is a whole lot better than the shit that you're giving him, And so, yeah, she went off.
I just think half-baked. I'm addicted to marijuana. Marijuana! Boo this man!
Right? I need to change this here. I got my new camera, so I want to use my new camera. All right. There we go. It's the new camera. I can tell. You can like look at can you see the screen now? If you'll look, you're kind of like not blurry, but you're like a duller picture, and mine's like brighter. It's my new camera. I might have to.
Oh, that's crisp.
Right. So
I tried a Delta 8 gummy, had a bad trip. I only tried. Damn, what milligram was it?
yeah, Alan, it depends on what kind. It depends on what strain. Like, was it a hybrid? Was it like what kind of a trip did you have? Because I've gotten my gummies that I normally take are 50 milligrams. Is it 50 milligrams? Yeah, 50. So
It's so hard to work with some customers because they really have no idea what like they've taken or if it's even like store bought. Like some guy came in today, and I won't trail off on that because it'll change the subject. But he's like, I want like the CBD to like, just to take the edge off. I was like, so you're not trying to get high? And he's like, well, maybe like a little bit, but like, I took this other gummy and I took the whole gummy and it was like really, really bad. And I was like, well, what milligram was it? What was the brand name? And it's like, I don't know. And I'm just like, because I have two gummies that look exactly the same. Mm-hmm. And like, one of them is 60 milligrams. The other one is 100 milligrams. And I probably have other ones that are higher than that look exactly the same.
yeah. Well, so Alan says it was bad. He's not sure. You know what? There's this stuff. So if you go and look in the description down below, there is a link for this stuff called Benoid CBD. And if you click on that link, you and I both get a discount. So like if you buy something, I get a discount on my next purchase. So it helps both of us. I don't get paid for it. I just get a discount now. And, but so like, do I even have it right here? Oh, it came in the mail today. So it's an eyedropper, right? And you can control how much you take. You just put a little drop, you put it underneath your tongue, and you just hold it there for about 30 seconds to a minute. And then you can swallow it because it absorbs through the tongue very fast.
They call that sublingual.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. And then, Kratom. I've done Kratom, but Kratom, not a big fan of Kratom. It didn't do it for me. I've even gone and gotten the poppy seeds and made poppy seed tea, and that didn't really help either.
I don't mess with anything that is similar to an opiate. Just can't do it. And plus, it's just not my bag. Man, I tried oxys a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Everybody else was throwing up and all high, and I was just itchy.
Yeah, it makes me itchies too. Ordered it from Mood. Okay, let me look this up.
I'd say if you've never done THC before, 10 milligrams of Delta 8 should give you a reference on where you're at.
Is it called? There's Moonfied Fine Cannabis. There's hold on. And then there's Hello Mood.
Yeah. If you're like a, daily user, like once a day user of cannabis, or maybe every other day, like I think the first gummy I took was 30 milligrams.
Uh-huh.
I felt it.
I felt it.
Like, so many people that, like my uncle, I gave him like 150 milligrams, and he was like, I think I felt something. But
yeah.
Pothead, like real big pothead.
So was it Mood Cannabis or was it Hello Mood? Let's look at Hello Mood. Mood, maybe it's this one. Are you over 21 years of age? Yes, I am. 100% legal THC. Oh, that's right. You can't see the screen until it pops up in a minute. Don't miss.
Plus, he ordered it offline. Like, I mean, this whole thing is unregulated. I mean, they could, to help sell their product more, they could mark a 50 milligram gummy as a 10 milligram. And just be like, whoa, man, that was so strong. I've taken other 10s, and it was nowhere close to it. So they get the market share because it's not regulated. So
hold on, let me find
where you buy from.
Let me find the link to mine. What am I doing here? See, I gotta move this over just enough so I can see this stuff. Let's go back here. Let's go to here. We'll go to here. We'll go to edit. So the link to my stuff is this one right here. And then we're going to click on it right here. Let's look it up. So this is the Benoid stuff that I get. I think you call it Benoid. I'm not sure. But this stuff right here is what I like. And I get the THCP and the THCO. And see, they just come in little droppers. This thing right here. And it's on sale. Look, it's $31.99 when it's normally $79.99.
Don't you recommend that to somebody that had a bad thing off Delta 8?
Well, he took a gummy. This is drops. He can raise it up or lower it.
I definitely understand, but THCO and THCP are like exponentially more potent than Delta 8.
Oh, well, see, and yeah, you're right. Cause see, I'm in California where we have like the strongest stuff here. So, okay.
THCO, THCP is still more potent than Delta 9, which is just weed.
Mm. Well,
I think 15, 30 times more potent, depending on which one.
You can try the CBD stuff. The reason why I went through Benoid, I did a lot of research, and they had the best of everything, like the best reviews out of everybody. So, but I don't know. I'm not an expert. You're the one that's the expert. You're the one that owns the vape shop.
Well, that's what I'm trying to give.
Well, then I'll shut up.
I'd say 10 to 20 milligrams of Delta 8 to see where you're at from a reputable place. Like, if you have a local shop to go to, you'll be able to fill it out. You know, if the person behind the counter can't talk to you in, like, an adult manner, and they're, you know, if they're all a stone kid, like, bro, oh my God, it's like, you know, move
Alan,
on.
You're in Georgia? So, if you're in Georgia, hey, Sneaky Pete, are you in here? Sneaky Pete's in Georgia. He'll be able to tell you a good place. Most vape shops should have that kind of stuff, right? That's legal in their state, right? And they'll be able to give them a good idea. Like, because, see, Drunk Uncle owns a vape store. So.
Yeah, see if they have a brand in some of your stores. It's called Pharma CBD. It'll be like in a green and like white package. And they have the 20 milligram Delta 8s. They kind of specialize on the lower end of the not the lower end, but lower end is in potency. But like, they are straight up. Like, their lab results are spot on. Like, they're not going to inflate or underinflate anything of theirs. Everything is. It's a very reputable company. So, Pharma CBD, green and white package.
Pharma? Well, hell. Let's look it up. Is it with a P or an F?
P. PHARMA space CBD.
The #1 supplier of CBD in the United States, it says.
Oh, in the United States? Dang. I know they were founded not too far from... They're somewhere in North Carolina.
Okay, let's do some shopping. So, CBD tinctures, gummies.
Yeah, gummies. Delta 8 20 milligram gummies is probably what he'd want to roll with.
Delta 8 capsules, Delta 8 gummies. All right. So, wow, $3.85 for 40 for two of them. That's not bad.
Yeah, how much they say? $3.48.
It's on sale right now. $3.85 for Delta 8, Delta 9 gummy cherry sours. I can't even talk right. Oh, sold out. $3.46 for Delta 8 mixed fruit. But it says Delta 8/Delta 9.
That second one's a 20 and 20 blend. So, actually 30 milligrams. We have we got the ones that are right next to it, the 40 milligrams. There's 20 of Delta 8, 20 of Delta 9, so I figured the 30 milligrams, 15 of 8, 15 and... Alan, don't even worry about that. You want the 20 milligram per gummy.
The 20 milligram? Okay, I'm looking for...
That would be that one sold out, but they got bigger bags down below, but...
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
there
like
you go, guys.
30 count bag.
Nice. See, you want to know how I take my pain? This is the best pain reliever that I have in the world. Is a little bit of, a whole lot of Crown Royal. Salud to everybody out there having a drink.
Yeah, see, look on the side. On the side there. Scroll back up. I know I'm kind of watching on a delay.
Yeah. Scroll back up to what?
Sidebar. Scroll to the top to where you can still see the sidebar. And then click on the 20 milligram and then click on the 15 count.
Okay.
And that would be exactly what I would recommend for you to buy. The 15 count of the 20 milligram.
He says he paid $30 for 10 gummies. So here in this one, for 15 gummies, it's $17.46. And they're gummy bears. Or as my stepdad calls them, goomy bears.
Yeah. So that's what I would recommend for somebody that's
cool, Alexis.
Trying to figure out what the hell they want to do with THC.
And once again, Alexis, Mike Jones, do me a favor. I'm asking you guys, put up like some kind of avatar. Like even if it's just like something, I don't like it. I know. Can you believe I'm asking my watchers to change their avatars and stuff? That's what I'm doing. All right, shall we get back to the freaking news? So I'm on my first one, Drunk Uncle. In New York City, you know all those illegal aliens they bust in? So they put them up in this hotel called the Watson Hotel. Let me look and see if we can... Let's see, look it up again. Watson.
Who's footing that bill?
Oh, who do you think is we are? Won't let me go to this hotel for some reason. That's weird. Only this hotel I can't go to on the internet. You know what? I bet you because the ads this is coming out. Okay, here we can look at it this way. You know how much it is for a night? $255 a night for this hotel.
Dang.
And that's where they're putting up the illegal aliens. Look at the pool. It's got an Olympic-sized swimming pool. On the roof even, it looks like. Look at the rooms. They're huge. Jeez Louise. This is where they're putting the illegal aliens up.
And when they get out in the real world, they're going to think that this is like normal. They're going to have to live like, they'll end up getting like a studio apartment or something and have to live in a mobile home.
Well,
like, what?
Well, this is what the issue is. So here's the issue. And I know why their website's down, because people are probably pissed. The issue is this. What they're doing is they're moving them now into a facility, like a shelter, right? A couple of the illegal aliens went to the shelter and saw it was nothing like the hotel where they are, and they don't like it. So they're protesting now by sleeping on the street.
See, you spoiled them right off the bat. They think this is what America is.
Yeah.
They think this is free living.
That's exactly what the problem is. That's like I was saying earlier. Like when you were a kid drunk, did you like when I would go like, Mom, what's for dinner? She's like, what I put on the table, you know? And like if you don't like it, you had to eat it. Like I remember one time my mom made I forget what it was, but it was something I didn't like and I didn't want to eat it. So I could not leave the table until I ate all of the food that she put on the table for me. I couldn't say, F you, Mom, I'm not going to eat that. No. But here are these illegal aliens that, leave their country. We put them up in a $255 a night hotel room. So what are they doing? They're calling their friends in their country, you know, in Nigeria. Hey, Nigerians, guess what? We're here. They put us up in this fancy hotel, right? Or hey, Mexicans, they're putting up in this. So now you know what that's going to cause. More and more and more people are going to be coming up. Find the Right Passion says her mom used to make her eat liver. What's up, Andy in Colorado? So yeah, that's our government, folks. Here, I got one for him.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
I told you I'm working. I'm adding new stuff to my little button pusher here. I got another one. This is always for Joe Biden.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this.
Remember, what's wrong?
No, that's what Joe Biden would say. I just didn't think you could get any dumber. Come on, man.
Oh, I gotcha. Sorry. My bad. My bad. Talking about my bad. My bad. Uh-oh, we're going to Minnesota. Where's the Briggle brothers? We're talking about your state. Your state's just as bad as mine. So they're calling this a barbaric Minnesota abortion bill. Lambasted by state senator, future generations will look back in horror. A Minnesota Republican state senator is taking a firm stance against a sweeping abortion bill passed by her colleagues, which opponents argue is the most extreme abortion legislation in America. The Product Reproductive Organs PRO Act passed the Minnesota Senate 34-33 on Saturday after Republicans had unsuccessfully tried to amend the bill 35 times. The bill states that every individual has a fundamental right to make autonomous decisions about the individual's own reproductive health. State Senator Julia Coleman called the bill abhorrent. I don't even know how to say that word. I should. And Fox and Friends Monday as it leads to the Democratic governor Tim Walz's death to be signed into law. So let's see what this bill says. It says this bill not only allows for abortions for any reason through all 9 months of pregnancy, but what it does to strip away parental rights is abhorrent. It not only allows this for minors, but it also allows for minor sterilization without parental consent or notification. I don't. How is this legal? That's what I don't get. Sterilization of a minor. So, in a female, that's a pretty large surgery, isn't it? Well, I guess there's two ways, right? They can tie the woman's tubes. Ladies, help me out. They can tie your tubes, and they can remove your everything, right? That's the only two ways to sterilize a woman. But if they're sterilizing a woman, that means they're doing the thing where they rip all their guts out, right? Their vagina, you know what? That's I stay away from that topic. You know what I mean, though, right, Drunk Uncle?
Yeah, there's something else that supposedly is sterilizing people, but we're probably not allowed to talk.
No. But anyway, so if somebody who's under 18 cannot get a medical procedure done without a parent's signature, but they can go ahead and make it to where they can never have their babies taken out, or they can never ever have a baby. That's a huge surgery. So Minnesota's making it so a 12-year-old girl could walk in to Planned Parenthood and said, I want to be sterilized, and they can do it without the parents' consent. How many people have like tying your tubes, that can be reversed if I understand correctly, can't it? Ladies, can you reverse a tube tying procedure? I'm not sure.
I know a vasectomy can be reversed. I don't know about tube tying.
I think tube tying can be. There, oh, thank you, Aha. So she says microsurgery to tie the tubes or hysterectomy removes everything. So I think tying the tubes is the same thing as getting a vasectomy. You know? I don't know. So Coleman said every attempt Republicans made to make the bill more moderate failed, including a 21-week abortion cutoff. And that's the other thing. You can have an abortion up until the day the baby's born. There you go. That meant Minnesota. No wonder you guys.
I know it's sad to say, but the mom 8 months, 3 weeks pregnant, and then like the baby's just kicking one day. Just she's like, yeah, pissed me off. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah. And now, who would want an abortion at that? I mean, if you want an abortion, why do you wait till the last minute? I mean, if your life is at risk, I agree. You should be able to have an abortion. But if your life is not at risk, and why would you carry a baby for 8.5, 9 months just to have an abortion? Want to have the abortion right away?
They could get upset at it. Like I said, it's I bet it's happened before. Baby kicking and it pisses them off, and they make a rash decision, or their boyfriend breaks up with them, or something changes in their life. Not saying this and reasons to do that, but I think so many people have been programmed to not even think about it as the human being inside them.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't see it like that.
It's just a shame. Hey, we get to talk about your favorite person.
And for the longest time, I was kind of in that boat for the most part. And then I learned exactly what an abortion does. And then what really got me was the chart. Like when you see the fetal progression of the baby.
Yeah.
Like Crowder, every once in a while, who whip that chart out and be like, all right, pick out on here where you think it's okay to abort the baby. And when you look at it, what starts to resemble a baby is like pretty early on, 6 weeks.
Uh-huh.
But, if you're kind of blocked off from that type of information, a 2-month-old pregnancy, you just missed your period for a couple months. Now you figured out that you're pregnant. Oh, just get rid of it. But when you look at 2-month-old, looks like on that chart, like it's already looks like a little baby.
Right? Wow. I found something new I can do. Look, I can make this like, you can't see it, but the people live can see. I can make this thing flash. I can freak people out. Hey, Drunk Uncle, we're going to talk about your favorite woman. Whoopi Goldberg. This woman. Hold on, I need to make her sound louder. That's not loud enough for me. How about this one? There we go. That's a little bit louder. Whoopi Goldberg asks if we need to see white people getting beat up to see change. So they're talking obviously about what happened over the week, or a couple of weeks ago with that Tyree guy.
Does she just literally think that doesn't happen?
Right? Oh, I seen some white people beat up pretty good. Well, let's see what she actually said, because that's just a headline. It says, The View co-host Whoopi Goldberg wondered on Monday if we need to see white people get beat up to see meaningful police reform, before clarifying that she was not suggesting that. Do we need to see...
Before we go much further, I remember somebody, I heard this, I was trying to think, I was like, what's on camera of, just like, white people getting, losing their lives or getting beat up by police. And I was like, oh, January 6th, you had two.
Mm-hmm.
You had Rosie Boyle and you had Ashley Babbitt.
Right.
There wasn't call for police reform then.
Oh no, they said they deserved it.
Yeah, but whenever you say George Floyd, or these other people that don't comply, trying to, tiptoe around here, then you know, you can't say play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Welcome to the world that we live in, right? And the funniest part of all is I'm watching these people trying to riot on Saturday, and they're screaming, "Yeah, these racist freaking cops!" Right? And I'm like, but the cops were black. The cops were black. How? I don't know. You know, when you say something to, well, black people can't be racist. Right? How many times have people said, well, black people can't be racist? Well, I guess I thought you said black people can't be racist. Now that these cops are?
Yeah, but they'll just change it and morph it to however they see fit.
You know what, Nomad? Even with Jenny Craig, I don't think Whoopi Cushion would look any better. I don't. Is she married? Or is she single?
Didn't she used to be married to Ted Danson?
I think they were I think they were dating. I don't know if they were married.
Ted Danson or Howard Stern.
No, it was Ted Danson. It was Ted Danson.
Ted Danson.
Well, like, so I guess on The View the other on this show, they're all talking and somebody farted and it was really loud, and I mean you could hear it on the show. Nobody claimed it. You know it was Whoopi. You know it was Whoopi out there just.
It was my whoopee cushion. Ha ha ha. Ciao.
Right? It had to have been her. Who else could it have been? But yeah, so that whole, I mean, I tell you what, I watched if you guys didn't see the video of Tyree Nichols being beaten by the cops, it was awful. Not gonna lie, it was awful. The cops are wrong. Way wrong.
Oh, absolutely. But I've heard couple interesting things. Doesn't make it the scenario any better. But number one was that I guess maybe that area was one of those places that wanted to do the whole defund the police. They cut a lot of the funding down, which cut down a lot of the vetting for the police officers.
Oh yeah.
Probably cut the pay down, so the people that probably deserved to be police officers did not get to be police officer, or you know, they couldn't afford to pay them. That was the first. And like I said, I have no idea if any of this is verified, true or not. This just little things that I've heard.
Okay.
Number two was they think that these guys may have been a part of a gang, not this Scorpions or whatever they're talking about. It was something else, like a real gang.
Yeah.
That is in that. The third thing is
Drunk Uncle froze.
Dude was banging one of the cops' wives.
That's possible. Like, I'm watching it the other day and I'm like, you know, it almost, to me, it's, you know, it was like, okay, this guy has something on the cops. Like, and that would go with your first theory. Like, the cops were part of a gang. And, you know, like this guy, Tyree, had some kind of information on him. Because, I mean, it's just so crazy. You know? Those guys weren't acting like cops at all. Those guys were acting like freaking thugs. I mean, they're holding the guy up so that the other cop can hit him in the face with the baton, you know? I mean, who does that kind of stuff? Well, obviously these guys, but, you know. It was awful.
With me learning this martial arts stuff, things like that, like, I don't see any reason for a cop to strike another person when they can use something far more effective, far more accurate, and not lethal by any means if you know how to do it right. And then they're trying to get rid of that. They're trying to get rid of chokeholds. Like,
you want them to chokehold them?
Rather than punch them and kick them in the face? You're fucking right, I do.
Yeah, but if you do a chokehold wrong, can't you strangle the guy to death or girl to death?
Cops, well, at least cops in my area, there are certain places that sponsor them. And a cop in my area they can go to blank Muay Thai, which is like 30 minutes south.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to pay a dime. If they want to learn martial arts, they can learn for free.
Interesting. See, Hemi says he heard the rumor about the cop was revenge for sleeping with his wife.
Yeah, but when you have somebody punching somebody, that's emotion coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's pure emotion. But if you're calm, cool, and collected and actually having to restrain somebody, you don't want to punch them. You might hurt your hand. You might punch them wrong, break their nose goes up, they die. I mean, there's so many things that from punching somebody that can cause like real damage.
Yeah.
But you put them in a nice, effective rear naked choke. As long as you know exactly what you're doing, you hold it for 7 seconds. You'll feel their body go limp. As soon as it goes limp, you let go. Turn them over. You shake their legs. You get the blood flowing back through their head. They come to. They're in a daze. By then, you've already got them handcuffed.
Interesting.
Scenario over.
Interesting. Aha says the 2 EMTs and the fire department lieutenant who didn't render any aid were fired too. Crazy. Did they try tasers and pepper spray, or did they just go straight? No, so they beat I think they beat the guy for a little bit first, then they pepper sprayed him, then they tased him, then they beat him some more. Matt Rogers says the love trial was brought up by a lot of different people. Is that your Roddy and your cat? That's cool, Matt.
Yeah, this seemed like torture.
Yeah.
Like, there's something...
If you guys go to, after the show, if you guys go to my video from Saturday, you can see the actual video. I'm not going to do it again because then, so like a couple people got their video, got strikes for showing that video, right? I didn't because I did it in the right way. I cannot monetize that video, but I didn't get kicked off of YouTube because we do it the right way here. I know the YouTube laws, so I follow the YouTube laws. Your best friend over there got suspended for showing it. You're a good friend.
And something about the paramedics or something like that. Like, let's say maybe let's just put in perspective that maybe they did have something personal against this guy,
mm-hmm.
and the person that had something personal with them was like the higher ranking officer.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just kind of falling in like, oh, this is what we do, okay. And then, maybe when that's going on, the ambulance shows up and he goes over there and he's pissed maybe because dude's banging his wife. We don't know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying scenario.
Yeah.
And tells him, you go over there and you help that man after he's been sleeping with my wife. I'm fucking you up next. Like, how many people do you think will actually just like fall in line and just like don't know what to do? Don't know how to know when to go against an authority figure.
Remember now, we're putting commercials on these live videos, so we got to watch what we say.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. I can download a button to maybe go over you, but I couldn't catch it. I won't be able to catch it in time. What was the reason for pulling him over? They said somebody called in saying he was driving erratic. See, look at this. Speaking of, I forget the gentleman's name earlier, but this is a THC CBD cream, and I just put it on my neck, and because it was sore, my neck's no longer sore. You saw how it worked in like 10 seconds. Love it.
I got the Tiger Bomb.
The Tiger Bomb? Right on. Boris needs to get some kind of an avatar for me too. Now that we're going to be putting people's little thing up here. All right. So the Department of Justice tells Jordan that disclosing info on Biden documents probe to Congress would jeopardize the investigation. Let's see why. Hemi says the story I'm seeing is the cop hunted him down because his wife got dogged out. So he... oh, just the wording you is dogged out. All right, so the Justice Department told House Committee Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan on Monday that it could not disclose information related to the special counsel investigation into President Joe Biden's improper retention of classified documents because doing so could jeopardize the probe. Now that sounds all right and well on top, but then it makes you wonder, like, okay, is that really going to jeopardize it? Or are they just saying this because they don't want the information to get out? Because Jordan's investigating it. Because you know the FBI was working on Joe Biden's side the whole entire time. The FBI people are all liberals. I'm not saying the agents are. I'm just saying the people in charge are. And if the agents want to keep their job, so I guess they're sellouts then, huh? If you're a conservative, in order to keep your job, you go against your beliefs, then you're a sellout. Is that a good word for it? What do you guys think?
Well, if you're just following the information that you're given, you may not know any better. It's going to be the people towards the top that are.
Well, so I read that book about the Hunter Biden laptop, and this guy took it to the FBI, and the FBI covered it up. The FBI didn't want to do anything with it.
Yeah, but there's somebody that had to make that call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not some random FBI agent. You know, they've still got to follow the protocol.
But then, I understand that, but then, so is then that FBI selling out? Because
the higher up, if you're never exposed to what's on that laptop or the implications of it.
But I'm saying the agent, if the agent keeps his mouth shut when he knows what was on that laptop, isn't he selling out to keep his job?
If he knew what was on the laptop, then yes. But I'm just saying, like, if somebody give him something, next chain of custody is to turn that into his authority figure, that authority figure turns it into their authority figure. Somewhere down the line, they run into somebody that's paid off. And they were like, yeah, you know, I've got clearance to look at it. I looked over it.
Thank you, Mike Jones.
There's nothing there. And they were like, oh, okay, yeah, there's nothing there, I guess.
But so in the book, it says that he told the FBI agents exactly what was on the drive, and he showed them pictures of what was on the computer. He showed them pictures of Hunter doing coke on there. He showed them emails where Hunter was getting money from places in Ukraine, you know?
Yeah. But if somebody really wanted to, things like that can be fabricated, and that's why it runs up the chain of command. You have to look at the metadata, like when that file was created. Like, let's say this guy got the laptop in 2018 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, there's this picture of Hunter on here, like, doing stuff to this person in 2015. And now you have a hacker or somebody that's very much informed on computers can get in. I think they call it, Andy could probably tell you, I think it's called the metadata or something like that.
Yeah.
You can look at all the info, and they'll tell you exactly when that picture was taken, like when it was created, last time it was modified, like the file format, maybe even like some sort of location tracker, an IP address or something that was attached to.
Mm-hmm.
And those things don't match up. Like, hey, this photo was taken in 2015. You look at the metadata, it says it was taken in 2021. You obviously know that this is a fake.
Well, yeah.
It's kind of what I'm saying.
But look, Andy says they knew the whole time it was real.
I understand, but Andy, you understand what I'm saying with, like, things can be fabricated. We got these deep fakes now. I'm not saying that this stuff was fabricated or a deep fake. I'm just saying, like, your normal FBI agent's not going to be able to, like, run diagnostics on all these pieces and try to find an inconsistency. They push it up to an authority, and then I would assume.
Hemi, do you got the fifth gen?
Yeah, they're all.
Sorry, my brain's going. Hemi, do you have the fifth gen? It looks like that. Is that a cluster for a fifth gen Dodge? Doesn't look like mine. Boris says the FBI has been lying since inception. They killed Ma Barker in 1935, and it would look bad that Hoover painted her as the leader, but it was all BS. All BS. So you got the little smaller screen. Interesting. Comey, Brennan, 51 intelligence agencies all lied. Comey. So, anyways, let's see what Jim Jordan's saying still. He announced that the panel's investigation after Attorney General Merrick Garland picked former U.S. Attorney Robert Hur as a special counsel to investigate the matter. Well, yeah, so we got to worry about Garland, because Garland was part of it too, right? On Monday, Assistant Attorney General Carlos Uriarte confirmed that the DOJ's receipt of Jordan and Jordan's January 13 letter, but explained the reasoning for the agency's noncompliance. So the FBI is not giving him the information he's asking for, is what's going on here. Now they're saying, well, it's because you're going to mess with our investigation. Now what happens if no investigation comes out? Did it really mess with their investigation then? What the heck is this thing? Oh, I think I know what this is. It's a wireless charger. Okay, what is this thing? I gotta find out what this thing is. Oh, it doesn't say what it is. I just saw a picture of this thing and I want to know what the hell it was. Damn commercials got me. What is this thing right here? Can you guys see what I'm pointing at? I don't know if you guys can see what I'm pointing at in the commercial. It's gone now anyways. So I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. We're all screwed. That's what I think. I think we're past the point of being able to fix it.
We've probably been there for a long time. It's just we have the internet now.
Yeah. You know, and it's funny that you say that. A long time ago, when I was back in college, we had the chief of police, and I was talking to him, and I asked him, I'm like, so what do you think? Why is there more criminal charges and stuff like that going on now than before? And that's exactly what he said. He said, Eddie, there's not. It's just now you have instant access on the internet. He's all, we're having the same amount of stuff that's been going on the whole entire time. It's just now. That's the way, you just have access to it now. So let's see. Hey, Nomad put up an avatar. Ugh.
Hey.
I think it's better to not have an avatar than that. Man. But that's all right. Oh my gosh, the women of the View. All right, a Florida bill could hand gun owners a huge win, make the U.S. a constitutional carry majority country. Speaking of Florida, so last night while I was playing my tournament, I watch YouTube, right? And there's this guy named Chuck Bronson. Has anybody watched any of this Chuck Bronson stuff? He has this, he calls it the bait car. He has like 10, 15 cameras all the way around his car, and he drives around Florida hoping to get pulled over. Like every time he sees a cop, he'll do something he says he drives perfectly, but he does stuff that's negligible, trying to get the cops to pull him over. And he has like 200-300 people watching him do this like every night. I was watching that shit last night, just like, oh my gosh, just get great. Watching that stuff last night. I was like, so I asked him, I'm like, do you just drive around to get pulled and hoping to get pulled over? And he's like, well, nobody hopes to get pulled over, Eddie. But he gets pulled over a lot. And I mean a lot. Anyways. Let's see what this new bill is in Florida. Maybe instead of going to North Carolina, you and I should just move down to Florida, drunk. Florida lawmakers introduced legislation on Monday to allow people to carry a concealed firearm without having to get a government-issued permit. A move that could make the majority of U.S. states permitless carry territory. I like that. They say our right to bear arms, of course, is enshrined in the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution. Chuck Brandon said during a press conference in Tallahassee, the bill that I will file later today continues to advance Second Amendment freedoms through legislation known as constitutional carry. I believe Floridians have the right to bear arms to protect themselves, their family, and their property without government interference. This bill is a big step to help average law-abiding citizens to help from having to go through the hoops of getting a permit. Does anybody know what this thing is in the middle of the screen that says 100? It's like a little electronic device. I wonder what the F that is. It's next to the ball sack. And what is that?
I thought you were about the ball sack.
Well, what is the ball sack thing anyways? Is that a punching bag? Let's click on it. I know it's... Let's see if we can find it on here. Let's see if it... they got me...
People that like to get teabagged.
They got me curious now. I'm curious what the heck that thing is. What is Temu.com? I actually have this thing right here, this drill brush. I use it for my wheels on my truck.
And see, with it, I don't know much about guns or carrying guns and stuff like that, but I could have swore that I heard from, maybe it was just somebody that I know or somebody that I trust online that does videos, but I think it's like people in Texas think concealed carry is silly because they want you to know that they're packing. They don't want you to have to guess and have to be put in that situation.
Yeah.
But if you walk into a restaurant and you look around and you can tell, like, damn, everybody here has got a pistol on their hip.
Right.
I ain't doing this. But if you walk in there and you look around, like, I see one or two.
Well, like Arizona is legal carry too. I remember. Because you can carry well, where did I go here?
You have a lot of people there. If you live in a state where a lot of people carry, I would think it'd be more beneficial as a whole community to open carry, not concealed carry.
2014.
Right? Like I saw a post, I think it was on Twitter, and somebody said California has the most gun laws in the country, but yet they still have mass shootings. Why is that? And I'm thinking in my head, it's like, cause that doesn't stop people from getting guns illegally, you know? So it says
and they do the mass shootings in either places that have a lot of gun restrictions or no gun zones.
Yeah, because it's safer for them because they know nobody else is going to have a gun.
More reason for the whole open carry premise that I was saying. Takes the question out of your head.
Right.
You see everybody's got an AR-15 strapped to their back. They're like, yeah, not doing this.
Right. So, like I remember we went to Portland, and in Oregon you're allowed to carry, right? But I think in the city of Portland you are not. And so we went to an event. There's like probably 500-600 of us at some park, and the park is just outside of Portland. And we're at this park, and Antifa didn't show up at all. When Antifa in Portland almost always shows up. And so you know why they didn't show up? Because, like, I'm looking around, and there's guys walking around with AR-15s just right here. Because we were not in the city of Portland. So Antifa knows better than to come mess with us when we have our guns out. Just saying. China Kill says manufactured eggs are from China.
And back whenever I was a liberal, I remember having a conversation with my mom one day about gun laws and, you know, how to keep people safe. And she was already on the, like, we need to get rid of these AR-15s. And back then, I did think the AR meant assault rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Just to clarify. But even as a liberal, I didn't think like all the other liberals. In my head, I thought it was better to get rid of handguns. And my justification is that you can hide a handgun. Nobody knows that you have it. You get into a fight with somebody, they pull out a handgun, pop, 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 boom, you know, things are over. But if you have to walk around with a rifle or a shotgun or something like that, there ain't no hiding that.
Yeah.
You know, even if they try to hide in your pants, they could be walking with a stiff leg. And you're like, what's up with that dude?
Right? Yeah, so Matt just said you can't have the magazine in your firearm in Portland. It's open carry. Otherwise, it's open carry in Colorado. Time to kill. Really interesting. They're a liberal state. All right, so it says criminals are getting their guns anyways. They're breaking into houses, they're breaking into cars, and they're carrying guns illegally. They don't care what the law says. We are only giving our law-abiding citizens a simpler way to have the ability to protect themselves, their family, their homes, and their places of business. Speaking of this, so I'm going to go to Facebook real quick. On Facebook, the City of Madera Police Department, they actually, ever since I made a comment saying they're not putting their comments on there, they're allowing people to put comments. But so today at the school, look at this. 5 hours ago, it says this morning, let me show you the post. This morning, Madera South High School resource officers responded to a report of a student with a firearm on campus. School security contacted and found the student in possession of a stolen firearm. The student's family was notified of the incident after he was taken into custody. We would like to Madera South High School parents and the public to know that no students were threatened during the incident and the sole suspect involved in the custody. Furthermore, the incident did not interfere with regular school schedule. We would like to thank the involved parties who reported the information. So today, they actually caught a kid in high school with a stolen firearm at his high school in little old Madera of like 55,000 people.
They steal it from his mom?
It was stolen. I don't know where it was stolen from. Let's see. Now we can read the comments. The comments are always interesting to read, I think. Let's read some of these comments. I hope that student is expelled and there are major consequences. And Salvador says, why are they doing all these stupid things? What kind of parents are these nowadays? Don't play down the incident. The gun got on the campus, and that's a real issue. I hope you penalize the parents. And this is why me and my kids moved out of Madera. There aren't any, she said ain't, but there are not any good, wait, I'll say it how, ain't no good comes from that town or the school kids there get bullied.
Well, by the law of mathematics, that means you just said that there is something that good comes from that town. They call that a double negative.
Ah, exactly, right? Oh, yeah, and for those of you guys, I used to do this. Maybe we should start doing this every time, do this section. My friend Debbie Bryant, who owns the Outlaw Tavern in Clovis, she always posts who's working tonight. So let's see who's working tonight at her bar. She has some new girls working at the bar. Where is it? Let's see who's working tonight. She posts a lot of pictures of dogs. She's a dog lover. And I hate it. She always posts it. Oh, wait, here's who's working tonight at the bar. This is, I don't know her name. I gotta go to this bar. I should go to the bar. Well, it's after 7 o'clock, so I can't. Look at her. She's pretty. So there's who's working at the Outlaw Tavern tonight. If you guys want to go to the Outlaw Tavern. Well, she was working earlier.
Sure, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Yeah, Drunk Uncle will be there in 20 minutes, and he's still too late. Let's see who was working the other day. Dang, Debbie, you post a lot on Facebook. She's a good friend of mine, though. Like, I thought she was going to kick me out the bar, and she used to, Eddie, you coming down? Because I got in a fight with this liberal in her bar, and I beat the hell out of this guy. And she was like, Eddie, thank you. We've been trying to get rid of that liberal forever. So this girl works most nights. She's probably working tonight, this girl. I forget her name. Any comments from Dino? No, Dino doesn't. Dino won't comment on that stuff. Dino won't comment on that stuff. Dino is the chief of police of Madera. And he is Matt Rogers' cousin. And you should say his real name. It's Charles. I always call him Charles. Piss him off. Let's see. Hit pause here. All right. So, Texas salon owners are considering closing their shop after the crime crisis leaves them waiting up to an hour for police. What city do you think this is going to be? I'm going to guess Austin.
It's in Texas?
Yeah, in Texas. So there's El Paso, there's Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas and Fort Worth are the big cities in Texas, and Houston. Which one do you think? I'm gonna say Austin.
Dallas, Fort Worth, or Austin?
You're gonna say Dallas, Fort Worth?
Anything about Texas?
Okay, so Texas salon owners considering closing shop after crime crisis leaves waiting up to an hour. Said crime crisis in Austin, I got it, is making them consider closing their shop, but unsure of where to turn if they lose their livelihood. Well, let's see, if they're in Austin, they're more than likely a liberal, so that's your own fault. If you're a liberal and you're complaining about the police, well then, you know what, I'm sorry. So they're saying crime is plaguing our entire city. Moving anywhere within the city would be expensive for the duo, who said relocating couldn't be cost effective for their small business. Still, they said facing 4 years of disturbances, which she noticed has escalated within the last 6 months, continues to wreak havoc on the property. It comes and goes in waves. Sometimes it gets cleaned up and it gets a little better. One incident caught on camera showed a man charging the storefront with a pole as the shop owners waited for police to arrive. Let's see. You kind of feel helpless. I wonder how they voted. You know, if I, you know, that's, see, not being a normal reporter, I could say, well, how did you vote? How did you vote? Did you vote for, did you vote Republican or conservative, or did you vote liberal? I bet you they voted like liberals, so they get what they deserve.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
I'm gonna love using this thing.
You go and do something like this.
I'm gonna love it.
Always keep in mind that there's not a large percentage of people out there that pay attention to politics.
That's true.
And especially paying enough attention to politics to be able to see through their own party's bullshit. I mean, hell, it took me 15 years.
Yeah, but I just love having fun, you know, calling people liberals. I just do. Especially in California. You know, you're driving around and you're in a car and you're like behind them and they're driving crazy or they're driving slow or they're doing this, and like, I bet you they're a bunch of liberals. And you roll up and you look over and you're like, yep, I was right. You know, or you see somebody wearing a mask walking down the street with nobody around them, and you're like, yeah, it's a liberal. Mask in their car, liberal. You know, just saying. Like, I remember I was in school and my good friend Isabel, she's in a wheelchair like me, and her husband's like my best friends around here. And she's, you know, I'm like, so what the hell are you going to school for anyways? She's like, for liberal arts. I'm like, I thought you wanted to be a teacher. She's like, yeah, liberal arts is teachers. And I was like, oh, and it finally clicked. I was like, no wonder all teachers are liberals, because they go to liberal arts school. Kind of makes sense. Window lickers. Bill, so get this. Have we talked before, or at least I think you may have mentioned it before, Bill Gates being on the Jeffrey Epstein plane? Or being with Jeffrey Epstein?
He was a confidant of him. So just reading this, Bill Gates addressed Jeffrey Epstein relationship awkward. I had the interview with him, and that's all.
Yeah.
Like maybe a whole bunch of times, but dude, I heard Bill Gates come out of his own stupid mouth that he was having problems with his wife, and he would go get relationship advice from Jeffrey Epstein.
Really?
Like some of 8, wasn't it? Like 08.
Crazy.
Some of it before, some of it after.
Yeah. Well, let's see. So it says here, Microsoft co-founder and billionaire philanthropist Bill Gates continued to downplay his relationship with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, claiming for the 100th time they were merely dinner pals. Well, what does dinner include? You know, does dinner and a date maybe? Australia's ABC 7 host Sarah Ferguson noted during an interview with Gates on Monday, one of the issues that dogged his relationship to his ex-wife Melinda French Gates was his ties to Epstein. Do you regret the relationship that you maintained with him? Against your wife's wishes. And he's like, Gates told Ferguson she was going way back in time before shrugging and answering the questions. I will say for the 100th time, I shouldn't have had dinners with them.
Well, I just tell you, this is the guy that he went to talk shit about his wife and his marital problems too.
Right? He said, no, I only had dinner with them and that's all. Well, you know what? It all depends on what you consider a dinner, right? Because in Las Vegas and around the country, there are some places. What is it called? Oh my gosh. I went there on my honeymoon. Medieval... What is that place called? Where, you know, they ride... Medieval times? Yeah, medieval times, right? You go to medieval times to eat dinner and you get a show with it, right? I could just say, well, we went to dinner at medieval times. You
can also say that I'm going to a strip club. I can go 20 minutes down the road tomorrow and get a steak and potato.
Right?
A good steak and potato.
At the strip club? By you? Oh, when I come there, you got to take me there.
Well, I mean, if they're still doing it. But, like, it was almost like a ritual for a lot of people that I worked with.
Yeah.
Because for a certain time, you get free entry. So not only would you get in the strip club for free, but then you got free steak and potato dinner. Technically, you're supposed to have to buy 2 alcoholic beverages, but they didn't hold you to that. So you get in for free, you get basically a free steak dinner, and you get to see some strippers.
Nice. Well, so when I was working in SeaTac, there was this place called the Bullpen. It was on International and 200th, and the Bullpen was cool. You would go in there and for $5. Now this was in 2000 and 2001, but for $5 you could go in to the Bullpen between 5 and like 8, and you would get a New York steak with a baked potato about this freaking big, you know, and salad for $5. And the whole deal was to get you in there to drink. So yeah, of course. The list is out. Denise says the list is out. So they have a list out, but we don't know if that's not a proven list. So that's what the trouble is.
Well, you've got the flight logs.
Well, yeah.
You got the flight logs, and one of the names that definitely surprised me was Beyonce. Beyonce was on his plane and supposedly went to that island. It's like, what?
Well, Beyonce and Jay-Z are Illuminati. Isn't Illuminati into crazy stuff like that?
See, all I know about as far as the Illuminati, and this is why a lot of people like to lump Illuminati and the Freemasons together, and just forewarned, I will get very upset with you if you do that, especially if you start trying to link the Illuminati or the Masons to Satanism.
No, Jay-Z is an Illuminati.
Yeah, because he may be a pawn of the Illuminati, but I only know about the Illuminati as their founding. Now, the Illuminati did not start off like that. They were just very, very smart people that had to stay in the shadows because they were more into science than religion. And that's why I don't think the Illuminati can be attached to the Freemasons in any way. But let's say the Illuminati has morphed and grown and this, that, or the other. If you're not a genius, you're going to be just a pawn of the Illuminati. Illuminati was reserved for very, very smart people. Mathematicians, scientists. They're not letting a rapper into the Illuminati.
Well, look at this. Lillian Matthews says if they are part of the music or Hollywood, then they're part of it. And that, you know, I mean, I kind of believe that too, because think about it. Like, look at Will Smith and his wife, Jada Pinkett. They had an open relationship, right? I mean, look at all these movie stars that are doing all. I mean, it's all mostly movie stars and Hollywood and all their stuff on those plane lists. Bill Clinton, you know. But I mean, who wouldn't expect Bill Clinton to be on there? I mean, he screwed Monica Lewinsky, so. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
What am I wrong about him? I'm not being confrontational at all, just asking. because I thought I don't have a grasp on maybe what the Illuminati is now. I just kind of know what I understand what their original formation was. But then there has been times where people try to intermingle the Freemasons and the Illuminati together. And that's where I start to get offended because of my grandfather. My grandfather, like, built a church.
Prince Andrew,
church family still goes to. Like, he's got all the funding and everything, built the church. And
just
from
you
Masons that I've talked to, you have to be religious in some sort of way to even be a Mason.
Okay, well, real quick, so let me bring up a couple points. I'm not trying to prove you wrong, because I know nothing about this,
Okay.
but when you bring up, saying, but they're religious. Well, yeah, so were all those, the Catholic priests are religious, and they still had sex with those little kids, molested those little kids, right? So
I understand the whole thing. If my understanding is, from what I remember, is still intact, that the Illuminati were the ones that were kind of, I think maybe you call them secular. So they were the ones back in the day that were, like the atheists.
Mm-hmm.
They believed in science and math and all this other kind of stuff, and that's kind of why they had to go underground.
Is that
Because
your
they
real
were
picture,
being persecuted because they weren't necessarily religious. They focused more on math and science. Not to say that. Yeah. Okay.
I'm listening.
Well, no. Hemi just said that Illuminati and Masons are two wings of the same bird. So, and for the sake of me just not getting upset, we'll just agree to disagree and move on, if that's okay.
Okay. No man says, from what I researched, it has everything to do with what degree of Mason you were in.
32nd degree.
But
1 degree below the highest degree until they go beyond of what's reported.
Your grandpa could have been a good guy that was in the Masons that maybe didn't know about certain stuff. I don't know. I'm not saying it either way. Let's just
32nd degree is pretty, like I said, that's only 1 degree below where they stop counting.
Mm-hmm.
And your heritage has to be traced. Like, I ran into a Mason not too long ago. I noticed the ring on his hand. I asked him about it, and I told him about my grandfather. As soon as I told him he was 32nd degree, he pulled up his shirt. And he said, Scottish Rite. And he's got this, like, big tattoo, like, on his chest.
Mm-hmm.
But I think to get to that degree, you have to trace your heritage back to Scotland. And to be the 33rd degree, you have to trace your heritage back to a certain area in Scotland.
I got
But that means, I think technically that means if I wanted to, I could move to Scotland and not have to get like a visa. Like, I could just become a resident of Scotland.
Interesting. So I can never be like a 33rd or 32nd degree Mason because I'm Dutch and American instead of Scottish.
Correct. If my understanding is right, but they keep a lot of stuff secret.
Interesting.
And I've got their secrets like in my room, tucked away somewhere. But I just won't. I'm not supposed to read that material, so I respect my grandfather, and I don't read that material.
Dang, Squid's a Rotarian. You gotta be rich to be a Rotarian. Freaking, I was gonna join with my friend, but me and my friend were both. When I was president of the Elks, he was vice president. So I was exalted ruler. He was leading knight, is what they're called. And he's like, Eddie, you need to join the Rotary and stuff. But like, so when we do at the Elks, when we we do fundraising, it's just sell what you can. When you're in the Rotary, they're like, all right, here's 25 tickets, sell them, or else you got to pay for it yourself. And they have they'll be like certain times like, all right, everybody has to chip in so much money. It's like, holy jeez, I couldn't afford to be a Rotarian. Although I did get in. Oh no, I'm not gonna say what I did get in. I won't say it. Anyways, I'm ready for Super Bowl. I can say that. How about that? So let's see. San Francisco reparations proposal would destroy the city's budget. You don't say. They want to give $5 million to every freaking black person in San Francisco? Man, all I know is I'm moving to San Francisco, and I am going to identify as a black person. A proposal from San Francisco Reparations Committee that would give $5 million each to longtime black residents is unrealistic under the city's current budget. The idea was pitched earlier this month as a means of compensating black Americans for the evils of slavery. We didn't even have slaves in California that were black. You know what slaves they had here in California? They were the Chinitos. We had Chinese slaves. We didn't have black slaves here. We had the Chinese slaves. That's why if you go to Hanford, California, where they built the railroads, there's all kinds of Hmong people and Chinese people because their family members were the slaves. We have a huge Hmong community.
And we want to forget about the concentration camps that we had for Asians during the...
All right.
Or was it the World War II era?
Yep.
I guess it was probably the Japanese.
Alexis, I live in Central.
Chinese before that, but...
I grew up in Southern California, but I live in Central California now. Yeah, no, it was like Hanford. Hanford is all about, like, I remember my English professor wrote a book on it, and we had to read it for English class. Don't you love that? You know, you go to a class and you have to buy a $400 book, and then you find out that your professor wrote that $400 book. Oh my goodness.
And then it takes you to your senior year to discover Amazon, and you can just buy the previous edition for a fraction of the price.
Well, there was Amazon, and then there was another company that I would use. I would go back and forth. But you know what the problem with me was? So, like, I learned after my first semester that whether you bought the book or not, the professor would go, as long as you went to class every day, the slides that the professor showed you in class were all you needed for the frickin' test. So why buy the books? I never read my books. I don't even think I opened my frickin' books most of the time.
Well, I can't just look at something and process it and automatically retain it. That's kind of why I have to film my jiu-jitsu classes. Because I'll go there and I'll learn it and I'll understand it. And then a couple hours later, I'm like, how did I get there? And so that's either where the book would come in.
Yeah.
And you can't even rely on notes either, because like when you're taking notes, you're trying to stay up with what the professor's saying, so you're not processing it.
Dude, look at that picture of Johnny Yuma. He's just freaking just... So I wonder, so this, I know that for sure is Johnny Yuma. I wonder if that's Melissa's picture. I doubt this is Mike Jones's picture. I know for sure this is Matt's Rottweiler. Because I know Matt, that's Lillian, not Matt. Where is Matt? But anyways, I always wonder. Because I'm using this new program and I can see the pictures bigger now. But yeah, if you guys look up the history of Hanford and the Asian community, they were all descendants of slaves. But anyway, so let's see what they're saying about San Francisco. The idea was pitched earlier this month and the means of compensating black Americans for the evils of slavery, but as now it appears even officials wanted to do this, the money is not there. I wish we had this kind of money in the general fund, but if we want to maintain the services that exist today, we do not. It may not be feasible under the current budget constraints, even though he is in favor of finding bold, meaningful ways. That means he doesn't want to give it to him. Another official, Supervisor Shaman Walton, told newspapers that some San Franciscans have suggested using revenue bought in the city's cannabis business tax to help fund reparations. That tax, which has been suspended for years and was recommended for another suspension through 2025, would not come even close to covering it. The San Francisco Standard reported that, according to the city's budget office, the tax would only raise $10.25 million. So that would only pay 2 people. Yet another supervisor, Dean Preston, did not rule out reparations, but said the city would have to re-examine the budgetary. Woody looked it up. Wasn't there like 42,000 black people living in San Francisco? So 42,000 times 5 million. That's like
I think it was in the trillions.
yeah, it was like $2 trillion, something like that. So here, to be eligible for the proposed program, an applicant must be 18 years old and have identified as black or African American on public documents for at least 10 years. They must also prove at least 2 of 8 additional criteria, choosing from a list that includes born in San Francisco between 1940 and 1996, and has proof of residency in San Francisco for at least 13 years, and or personally or the direct descendant of someone incarcerated by failed war on drugs. So now we got to pay reparations because people were drug dealers? Oh my gosh. Yeah, your Rottweiler's cuddling with your cat. You know, Donnie used to cuddle with the cat, though, when I had the cat.
I wonder what kind of tax bracket that would put them in if they got like a lump sum. Like, it almost seems like a strategy.
It's tax-free. It's tax-free.
Right. Tax-free. Oh, snap.
It's tax-free.
But then they probably, they go out, buy, kind of do the MC Hammer thing, or the, who else was the guy that done it?
Lots of people.
You told me the story plenty of times. He went out and bought himself a car, and then bought his dad a car. And
Shaquille O'Neal.
That's why she did the car. Shaquille.
Yeah. And then he learned.
Blow through all your money. And then tax time comes around. You got to pay taxes on that house. You got to pay taxes on that car.
Right.
Like, a lot of people from The Price is Right get screwed. They go on there and win this like cool car and all everything, and then they drive it, and then it comes time for taxes.
They can't afford it.
You can't afford to pay the taxes.
That's why. Like, if you go, you don't really have casinos over there, but like if you go to the casino here, they're like giving away a car, right? Chancey is giving away a car, or you can choose $40,000. We can get the $100,000 car, or you can take the $40,000. Most people will take the $40,000 because they can't afford the taxes on the car.
Unless you just sell the car immediately. I mean, that would be a way.
Yeah. That's true. But like certain things are not taxable. So like I finally got my money from the VA for my Agent Orange. That is considered a settlement, and it's not money earned. So it's not taxable. It's considered so all the money that I get from the VA, I don't have to pay taxes on it. Not a dime.
Yeah, but whatever you choose to do with that money, you're going to pay taxes on.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where they get.
Well, I mean, look at my freaking truck. I got my truck, my new Dodge Ram Cummins. I got the registration the other day. $716 every year for registration fees.
Yeah, mine's like $50.
Yeah. $5 million each would cause so much trouble. Yeah, you know what like I said, if they get $5 million each, I'm gonna build a Cadillac dealership in San Francisco. I'm gonna buy a rim dealership in San Francisco. I'm gonna build a stereo dealership in San Francisco, something like that.
And that's straight out of the Chappelle Show.
Yeah, you were telling me that the other day. All right, this is B&H photo stuff. I gotta look. Anything cool? I already have one of these. These stupid commercials. You think they'd get a new song by now? That's a cheapy camera. That's a 360 camera for $800. Look at this. 2 terabytes SSD drive for $179. That's a good one. I actually see this one that I'm pointing at right in the middle. I have 2 of those. I have a 4 gigabyte and I have a 2 gigabyte. Right here. I got this. That's the exact same thing that was just in that commercial. I spend too much money on my camera stuff. Anyways, all right. A Utah lawmaker has been accused of trying to intimidate police officers into releasing his son after he was arrested on burglary charges late last year. Is there still a snack tax there? Yeah, California, we pay taxes on everything. Like food is taxed. If it's cold, it's not taxed. But so this is interesting. So I remember at Vaughn's and Safeway, they have really good pastrami sandwiches. And I like my pastrami sandwich hot. And so one day I went in there and they charged me, it was like $6.99 or whatever. And then they didn't heat it up for me. So the next time I went there, I'm like, hey, I like it heated up. Can you heat it up for me? And then it wasn't $6.99, it was $7 something. I'm like, you charge me for heating it up? They're like, no, if it's cold, we don't have to charge you tax, but if it's a hot food, we have to charge you tax.
Weird.
Because you're paying the tax on, because instead of, they said, well, because we got to heat it up, but it's a service now. I said, well, making the sandwich is not a service? And then I'm like, shut up, Eddie, because then you're going to have to pay, It's just California.
Keeping it cold is a service too.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, if it's not room temperature, it's, it's costing you money to keep it at said temperature.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeannie says, in Cali, everything is taxable except food that you cook. And you know what I find really upsetting? So, like, you'll go to, let's say, Jack in the Box, right? And there's a sign, we accept SNAP, or we accept whatever. So people can go into restaurants and use their food stamps to buy food. I don't think that is right. If you can't afford to buy your own food and you got to get food stamps, then I think you should have to cook your own food. I don't think you should, because a combo meal at Jack in the Box costs like $11 for an ultimate cheeseburger combo, right? But you can make that burger at home for $2-3.
I say throw in an exception, like you get like, if it's like a sit down restaurant, once a month, but you have a cap limit. Like you can't be going there ordering filet mignon and whatnot and expect them to cover the whole thing. Alcohol is definitely not covered. But like with fast food, I don't do fast food, but I know it is getting pretty expensive. But
yeah,
if you're on food stamps, like $20 a week is the most you can spend documented at a fast food place.
Yeah.
Because you are, supposedly, you're living off a fixed income and you need to live like you're living off a fixed income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've heard stories. I haven't seen it, but I've heard stories. And Boris says you need to get out of California. Yeah, I can't tell my stepdad passes. But anyways, you'll see these stories and people are like, yeah, I'm behind this person using their food stamps and they're buying steak and lobster while I'm sitting here buying freaking, I'm buying cup of noodles, and top ramen. What's up, Freckles? It's just crazy. It's just
some people just aren't good with their money, so they get that check in, kind of like Shaq. I'm like, oh snap, I got all this money. Maybe they're trying to impress a girl. I'm gonna go buy some steak and lobster. I'm gonna get this girl in bed tonight. Try to
yeah.
And then next thing you know, talking about the ramen for the rest of the month because you did that one night where you wanted to try to impress somebody.
Right.
It's like the other day, I stopped by a little auto parts store. And behind the auto parts store is a very bad neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a car sitting on the edge outside of this shack.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what kind of car it was, but I could tell that was like probably it was a very, very nice car. We'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And automatically I was like, drug dealer.
Right. Dude, and then like the food stamps. So, even with the food stamps, like they changed it to a card now. Now it's a card because they're saying people can't scam as much, but they still do. Like, think about it. In the old days, people come up to you and be like, hey man, I'll sell you my food stamps for 50 cents on the dollar. So what that means is if you wanted $20 worth of food stamp, or for $20 you get $40 in food stamps. And you could go to the store and buy it. Buy the stuff. And nowadays they put it on the card. So that person, now what they do is they still give it to you, 50 cents on the dollar, but then this person now has to go with you to the grocery, or they give you the card and they give you the pin and you slide it, right? So, but even then, like, I think what they should do is, I think we need to go back to the government cheese, the government peanut butter, the government milk, and it needs to say government on there. You know why? Because I see people, they go and buy baby formula. I knew a person that would do this. They would go buy get the baby formula with their WIC. WIC is women and children, and they get these little cards where they could go, or like coupons, they could get milk and stuff, and baby powder, and baby powder is like $50 a can. Next thing you know, you see them on Facebook selling these cans for $40. Instead of giving the cans to their baby, which is who the government gave them the cans for, they're selling it on Facebook. So that's why I said if they do this, then they have to put lettering on there. Government paid for, do not sell.
Man, who's to say that the kid that they have is still young enough to need baby formula?
That, or maybe the mom's breastfeeding them and just selling the baby formula,
Yeah, there's always loopholes.
Yeah.
One of the people that rented my dad's mobile home after he passed, he left it to me. They destroyed the place. They absolutely destroyed the place. They were not good people at all. I don't know what kind of hustle they were going on, but their kids were like 7 and 8 years old probably at the time. And then they abandoned almost everything. They left behind a whole frozen turkey. I know that's not, cheap, but canned goods out the wazoo, this, that, or the other. But one thing I noticed they had a whole bunch of was diapers.
Yeah.
Why have so many diapers?
Crazy, yeah.
They could have been running a scheme like that. Getting the stuff on their little card or whatever and, pushing it off on the side. But it didn't mean enough to them. I know they didn't have any money invested into it, or you wouldn't leave that stuff behind.
Yeah.
You don't leave, especially like a big, probably like a 20-pound turkey. That's got to be worth a decent amount of money. And if you can't even pay your bills, how are you buying that turkey? No, they didn't pay for that turkey. I don't know how they got the turkey, but...
Right. Oh, yeah.
I found toys that were not even opened. So much stuff. I don't know what I think they were scamming churches or something.
Maybe. Dude, I remember...
Camping equipment that had never been opened.
Yeah, so where I lived in Madera, across the street, they had every Friday you could go and get free food. They had, a free food drop-off. And, I remember, let's start from the beginning. So at the Elks, we had a thing to where if you were, we would call the schools, and the schools would tell us what families were low income or couldn't afford a Christmas dinner and a Thanksgiving dinner, and we would provide a basket with, turkey, all the fixings, and stuff, and then at Christmas time some toys. So I get a call one day from my tia, my aunt, my wife's side. And she's like, Eddie, how can I get one of these free turkey baskets from the Elks? And I was like, you got to have a kid, you got to be in the school program. They recommend it. And I'm thinking, and so then she comes over to my house and she's like, Eddie, how can we get on the list? And I look outside and she's in a brand new freaking Silverado with a diesel engine in it. And I'm looking at this chick. I'm like, you're trying to get free food when you're driving a brand new freaking truck? So then one day I was going to the grocery store on a Friday, and there she is in the line for the free food from the church or from, what do they call that? The people that provide the food. The food something. But anyway, she's sitting there in her brand new truck picking up free food. Still doesn't even have license plates on the truck. That's how new the truck was, and she's sitting there getting free food. It's like, oh my gosh. I thought I was cheap. Matt Rogers says, Oregon has a 10-cent bottle deposit on almost everything. And he said earlier that they would come in, they'd buy their sodas on EBT, they'd pour the sodas out, and then go return the cans for money.
Similar story to what you were saying. But this happened very early on, after opening the shop.
Mm-hmm.
One of my business owners noticed a guy. I think he noticed what he pulled in. It pulled in across the street.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice truck that had 2 Harley Davidsons, like, pull behind trailer.
Food bank. Thank you, Hemi.
So you got 2 nice Harley Davidson touring bikes. I'm not talking about like an old raggedy Harley Davidson. 2 nice Harley Davidsons.
Mm-hmm.
Pull behind trailer with a nice truck. This man parked his truck, got out, went to the median, and tried to act like he was a homeless person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
My business, my co-owner seen that, and he flipped out, and he gave him a big New York cussing out, because they're from New York.
Uh-huh.
And he just let hit that. I mean, it's just pretty disturbing, but I guess he watched the guy pull in, get out, have the sign, walk to the median, and then he was like, what's going on with this guy? What's with this sign? Maybe he's saying, like, my truck's broke down, can you help me? Type stuff.
Yeah.
And
My
he gets out there and the dude's like trying to scam for money.
Oh yeah, dude. That's why I don't give money to the homeless. When I was younger, I was in high school, and my brother, his restaurant was only breakfast and lunch, and we did catering at night. I was like, dude, we got the best tri-tip in town. Why don't on Friday nights we have tri-tip dinners? He's like, all right, it's your deal. You get people to come in. So I made flyers. I went to Kmart. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I just pass out flyers in front of your store, about us selling tri-tip at our restaurant tonight? And they're like, sure, no problem. So I'm standing out there for like 4 hours, and there's a homeless guy, and he's just getting all kinds of money. He looks all tore up, right? And then every time people would give him food, you'd see him walk to this brand new this was like the 90s, so he's walking back to a brand new Trans Am, opens it up and puts the food in there. And I'm like, you freaking jerk. Brand new Trans Am, begging for money as a homeless person. It's just crazy. Kind of kills as my dad used to get food at the Army Armory. Yeah. Well, like, so at Fresno State, when I was going to school there, we actually had this place. You could go in there, and 3 times a day you were allowed to go there, and they had free food. Like, so Fresno State has a huge farm, so there was always like corn and fruit and vegetables. And then they'd have what do you call them? TV dinners. They'd also have TV dinners. So for students, because students are broke, so a student can walk in there, you show them your card, they scan your card, and you can get whatever you wanted for that day, and you could eat. Yeah, trying to kill us is we have to pay 10 cents for bags in California. So do we. But you know what? I never do. I don't pay it. I'll take the bags anyways. They say that if you're in California, if you're on welfare, you don't have to pay the 10 cents a bag. And if you're getting Social Security, you don't have to pay for the bag. And if you're a veteran, you don't have to pay for the bag. So I just don't pay for the bag.
Own bag.
You can bring your own bag, but if you don't and you want to use their bags, they charge you 10 cents a bag. Like, and they'll ask you, would you like a bag? And I'm like, do I have to pay? They're like, yeah, it's 10 cents. I'm like, nope. I won't pay it. I will not pay it. I keep doing the wrong one.
For money, then,
Yeah. All right.
Penny.
Yeah, I mean, what? I used to buy for what was it? It was 1,000 bags for $20. This is what I used to pay when my wife had the thrift store. So look at this. So this is according to the Gateway Pundit. A trans activist accused of rape after she was moved to a woman's prison. I wanted this it was California. An incarcerated woman at a California prison is probably the one right down the street from me in Chowchilla. Was an eyewitness to a rape of a fellow prisoner by a trans woman at the facility. The prison witness, Mimi Lee, saw the victim being taken to a medical administrative building in the facility by staff after other female incidents reported that she had been raped. The witness identified the trans activist, Saya Skyleet. Let's see if we can look this person up. As the perpetrator. The rape allegedly occurred in May of 2022. A female inmate at the California the one right down the street from me. The Central California Facility for Women, the CCFW, has come forward with a sworn declaration of having been witness to the aftermath of an alleged sexual assault. Incarcerated woman Mimi Lee has provided a sworn declaration. Lee explains that on May 19th, a female inmate was taken to a medical administration building by facilities, or in the facility by staff, after other female inmates reported that she had been raped. They describe it as witnessing the woman as being barely conscious, and then less than an hour or so later, she was taken out of her cell on a stretcher under Code 3 medical alert, one that signifies an inmate is unresponsive. The next day, she was told by multiple inmates that the woman had been sexually assaulted by Jonathan Robertson, also known as C.S. Skyley. Let's look up this person. Let's see if they're on the internet somehow.
Eddie, what you ought to do is, if they don't get to it in this article, since she's close, is try to get on her visitation list and see if if any of this has changed her aspect on biological males being in biological female spaces.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, so here's an article on this person. Trans woman locked up in men's prison, victim of brutal, senseless violence from prison staff and inmates alike. So they're trying to get this. They have an online petition to get him free from the Kern Valley State Prison in Delano, which is down by Bakersfield. Saia stated to the activists behind the campaign, when someone is in my case doesn't have family to support them. Let's see. Do they have a picture of this person? I'm interested in what this person looks like.
He looking like a man.
Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if they have a picture of it. I guess not. Let me type it. Let me try the other name. Actually, let's look up inmate locator. We can maybe do an inmate locate look.
I guess that'll tell us for certain if they list them by their biological sex or their identified gender.
Let's type in mugshot.
You said it was Madera, right?
It's actually he's in Chowchilla jail.
No. So you don't have like the same database that you can pull for
No, not the one I normally look at. Well, I do have a database I can look at. Let's see. Let's go to find. There's find and inmate. I can use that website, but then I'd have to show you guys my then I'd have to sometimes there's more information that I want to show in there. Family and friends, adult visitation, send money, contact an inmate. Let's see about contact an inmate.
Figured you'd have a statewide one. We have one here, but doesn't necessarily show many mug shots.
There are some that do. We can look at federal inmates by name. Was it Jonathan? Yeah.
I'm telling you though, if you're close by, you ought to try to get on our visitation list and be like, so I hear that you're a trans activist. You've seen this thing happen. Has it changed your perspective on anything?
Here we go. Jonathan L. Robertson, registration. Their age is 35. They're an American Indian, and it says male. It doesn't say what prison they're in. But that's probably them. me do this again. Let's do images. Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's a Northern Michigan doctor. I don't know what they look like. I have to do some more research on it. And speaking of this, so I want to talk about something. So in trying to find stuff, let's see. That's not what I want to do. I'm trying to find stuff on somebody came up and was talking to me about something here. There's a person. Let me do this. A person I know has brought this to my attention, and they're like, "Hey Eddie, have you ever seen this person anymore around?" And I was like, "No, why?" And they said this person got arrested for child pornography, and I was like, "No way!" You know, somebody very close to me. But you can't. Like, there was a news story on it, right? It happened like a year and a half ago. You can't find the news story anymore. Now, right before this person got arrested and had their house raided, another friend of ours was arrested and signed a plea deal, willing to cooperate. So now now this person cooperated, and then within a few weeks afterwards, another person that was very close to that person is now in jail for a long time on child porn, and then now that person that's in jail for child porn has disappeared completely. You can't find their inmate number. You can't find anything about them. I just do something, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Hold on. Let me do this to turn it off. If I do my hands up like this, my computer thinks I want it to move back and forth. But so let me start over from the beginning. There was one person got arrested. Then they got a deal from the jury as long, or from the whatever, as long as they cooperated or you know. And then all of a sudden, another person real close to that person went to jail. They had their house raided. They went to jail, and it was in the news. And then now, all of a sudden, all the news articles are gone. I have a very good background check, and I've searched for this person's name. It's nowhere in my background search program. I searched the internet for hours yesterday, trying to find anything on this person. This person has completely disappeared. So now I think the feds have two people now that have become witnesses, informants. How many more?
With protection, but I guess you would have to be an informant to get that.
Yeah. There's no way. I mean, how can this person just disappear off the face of the earth? You type in their name on the internet and you won't find it anywhere. Nowhere. Shit, I just did it again. I gotta turn that off. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how that happened. Mike Jones says, in an Atlanta prison, he heard they cut a hole in a trans nut sack and raped him in it. Whoa. A little crazy. Little crazy. All right, my last news story of the night. I'm glad I went back to my old program. I like it. I like it, the way this is looking. Let's see. Boris and the taxpayers' money. All right, here we go. Yahoo Finance. How to pay for reparations of California's swollen wealth. So now they're talking about how you can pay for these reparations. How are they going to... Experts... Oh, you can't... I can't read it. Son of a gun. Never mind. Oh, well, I guess we don't have any more news. Anyways. Let's go back to Discord mode. So, do you have anything you wanted to talk about today, Mr. Drunk Uncle?
Did you hear anything about Hulk Hogan? I guess he's paralyzed now.
Hulk Hogan is paralyzed now?
That's what I heard right before I closed up the shop tonight.
Really? Well, okay, so while I'm looking this up, I did know, if you guys don't know, Cindy Williams died today. Do you guys know do you know who Cindy Williams is?
Mm-mm.
Laverne and Shirley. She was Shirley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says Hulk Hogan can't feel his lower body after another back surgery. Kurt Angle says. Hulk Hogan appeared on the Raw Anniversary show last Monday with Jimmy Hart, but Kurt Angle said the Hulkster is battling some health issues. He can't see. I can't feel my legs, but I can still walk a little bit. Denise says, "Where is Mike Epps?" That's another person. Where is Mike Epps?
And that is Mike Epps. You mean Ray Epps? Mike Epps. He's a comedian.
Did I say Mike Epps? I did say Mike Epps, huh?
But that is like very confusing. That you can't feel your legs, but you're able to walk.
Oh yeah, the doctor. I remember. So when I was a kid, we went to this new doctor, and I'm sitting there, and the doctor says, "So you can't feel your legs?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "But you're walking." I said, "Yeah." He's all, "That's impossible." I said, "No, it's not, because I'm doing it." So he's like, "Well, I need to do a couple tests." So this guy, he put a blindfold on me, right? And I'm just sitting there, I'm sitting on the table or whatever it was. And all of a sudden I hear my mom's like, "What the F are you doing to my kid? You don't ever effing do that," and blah, blah, blah. And so I take off the mask and my leg is bloody. This doctor was taking a syringe and jabbing it in my legs, trying to see if I would flinch. And I didn't flinch. And the doctor's like, "Wow, you really can't feel your legs." And I'm like, "I told you. I can't feel them."
Where does the feeling start? Does the feeling start maybe in your hips?
My knees.
Your knees. Okay, so you at least got a sense of, you get, as long as you walk with like a wide foundation, that's probably how you're able to walk.
Yeah, I mean, I like even driving. So like the way I drive, I can't move my right foot at all. Like if I hold it up, it doesn't move. So what I do is I set it on the ground like this, and in order to drive, I push with my hip, and my hip, once it pushes my, God damn it, stop camera. Wait, hold on.
What are you doing?
I've got this new camera. Watch, look, it'll follow me. Oh, now it's not. It's set. So if I do this signal, the camera now will follow me. See how it follows me around?
Oh. Okay.
So I'm trying to get it to where I want it at. So now if I do this again, it stops following me. So look, now it won't follow me. There's also a hand signal that can make it go up. It'll make it go down. All kinds of stuff. So
that's cool.
Yeah. I like this new camera. It's pretty badass. But yeah, so I can see where Hulk Hogan might still be able to walk. I don't know. It's possible. We'll have to see.
All I heard was like, Hulk Hogan's paralyzed. Did y'all hear that? And they're like, "Yeah, I heard something about that." And I was like, "All right, time to close up shop."
Yeah. Cheville, survival, incorporated. We're gonna do it. You never watched Laverne and Shirley when you were a kid?
No, that seems something like my mom would have watched.
They were drunks. They lived in Milwaukee and worked at the beer factory.
Sounds like something my dad would have watched, yeah.
What if I flipped the camera off? I don't know what it would do. I don't know. So anyways, what else was there? Was there anything else I wanted to talk about today? I guess not. Does anybody have any questions for us today? Anything you want us to bring up? And Mike Epps, yeah, remember he was in that movie. He was in a lot of movies. He was in a lot of Ice Cube movies. He was in Next Friday, Friday After Next. But he was also he was in the movie where Ice Cube was a what do you call those he was a bounty hunter, right? And Mike Epps was sitting there messing with the guy, and the guy's like, 754. He's like, "No, it's 754, not foe." He's all, "Man," he's like, "You ain't got no foe head. You got a 5 head." Remember that? All About the Benjamins. That's what it was called. All About the Benjamins.
I didn't see that. No.
You never
aware
see?
of it,
Oh, that's a funny movie. Oh, and so like, you know, I've been watching a lot of European movies and stuff like that, and I was going through or TV shows, and so now Netflix is recommending shows. They recommended this one about drug cartel in Colombia. All the bad people are gorgeous hot women, and all the cops are gorgeous hot women. It's like a typical Mexican TV show. And there's 90 episodes, and it says it will be removed from Netflix on February 28th. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh, shit, I got to watch all these. Because, I mean, these women are just like, pow. Like, wow. Like, these women are like,
My step-grandmother was from my step-grandfather. And
oh, yeah, Wednesday.
he must have been in some stuff because they sent him to prison for like 15 years. Something to do with cocaine, but that doesn't, you know, shocking, Colombia with cocaine. Oh, God.
Right? Yeah, the original Wednesday Addams died today, too. That's right. She was only 64 years old. The new Wednesday Addams, that girl was smoking hot. Definitely smoking hot. Oh, there's a new show on Netflix. I know you guys don't watch Netflix. I watch Netflix. And there's this new show from Korea. It's almost like Ninja Warrior. So what they're doing is this. They have 100 people, and they have to go through tests, and they eliminate people every week. It's called the 100 or Physical 100 or something. But it's men and women. There is no such thing as you can't compete against a woman. So the women are competing against the men. Like, it's like straight up gangster. Like, I don't care if you're a woman. If you want to win this competition, you got to beat the men.
You got your bottle close by. I need to take a drink for Steve. I think maybe this was close to Steve Pence's birthday or something.
Oh, yeah? What am I missing?
Mike was at I seen something about it earlier, but maybe like this
Let's
is
take a
around
shot for Steve.
Pence's birthday or something.
There we
so
go.
they're asking to take a shot.
Yeah, we can take a shot for Steve. Salute, Steve.
So,
Good stuff.
Murph Dizzles.
Definitely some good stuff. Yeah, when I come over there, I'm gonna make Drunk Uncle drink some good whiskey again. None of this beer stuff. I'm gonna get Drunk Uncle drunk. Go buy it. I'm telling you, if I move there, we should buy a bar. Just get some hot women to work there. Get everybody in town to come do it. Be on point. Or
It'd probably be pretty to own a bar, unless I was just never, or had an apartment above the bar. But still, that would probably be even worse.
Yeah, you'd be drinking the whole shit.
Drop. I wouldn't have to worry about how much I was consuming either.
But
I've thought about it.
The problem would be with Drunk Uncle. See, I would be like, all right, Drunk, we're gonna own the bar, but you're on a limit. You could only have so many drinks a night or something like that, and then you gotta go. Because, like, you ever watch that? There's a show called Bar Rescue, and that's where most of the problems happen, is the owners will sit there and just get drunk all night long, and then somebody will walk in, and they'll be like, hey, I'm the owner, let me buy you a drink. You gotta be like a drug dealer. You can't do your own stuff. Like, drug dealers don't do the drugs that they sell. You can't. You'll lose money.
Not effective ones. There's a lot of people out there that sell just to get high.
That's true. That's true.
Hence, most college students buy an ounce of weed, or this was the way it was in my day. Buy an ounce of weed, sell it by the eighth, and you get a free eighth to smoke.
I got you. Boris says you need to take a drink for Grandma Avis too. She was 105. Rest in peace. Mike says thank you. You guys are trying to get me drunk tonight.
But I would like to own a specialty beer store. I think that market might already be cornered, like in the area.
Uh-huh.
But a place that you can go to that just like going to a weed shop, looking for a certain kind of beer, certain level with these certain flavors, but it's not like open to where you just come in, sit down, and start drinking.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a little, a little sample of it somehow. But just a store that just had like anywhere from Pabst Blue Ribbon all the way to some local microbrewery and everything in between.
Yeah. Freaking, Denise said, just a reminder, Washington, D.C. is called the District of Columbia. Well, yeah. And they also had a mayor called Marion Barry who got caught with drugs and was doing drugs, and then they reelected him. How many times did they reelect Marion Barry after all that coke he was doing? Oh, and so check this out. So I was watching a show on this bar. It was a show. There's these girls in Vegas that I like to watch, and they went to this bar. And what they do is, so they have, they have a special, and it's anyways, what they do is they sell you a shot. Or the shot's $4 and the beer's $4, but it's unknown. It's they call it the bag shot or the bag beer, and so when you order this beer, they'll sell you a beer for $4. But you don't know what beer you're gonna get, and so it comes in a paper bag, and so you don't know what beer is in there until you drink it, until you take the bag down. So it's like at our thrift, my ex-wife's thrift, it was, I forget what they call that. A mystery bag, that's what it's called. It's called the mystery shot and the mystery beer. So for $2 you get a mystery shot. You have to roll the dice, and whatever that dice is, that's the shot you get, and that's the beer you get. And think about that. People come in and then they try a beer. Like this one girl, she tried the beer. She's like, I like this beer. So then she started buying that beer the rest of the night, full price. So yeah, I saw that one, Hope. My opinion, coke isn't really a big deal. It's not meth or fentanyl or heroin. That stuff is terrible. I don't know. I've never done coke, fentanyl, or heroin. So, I have done fentanyl, but I've had it for surgeries. When I have my surgeries, they give you fentanyl. Oh, yeah, Matt. I like the ladies. And so drunk uncle wouldn't be allowed in the bar because he would drink all the time, and I wouldn't be allowed in the bar because I'd be harassing the bartenders. Yes, Donnie. Okay, I know, it's dinner time.
So who's going to watch the bartenders scamming us?
Oh, I'll be watching them. I see you looking at me. Come here. Come say hi to everybody. Huh, monster. Yes, these guys are good boy. So I'm slowly moving them to. I'm waiting until I get back from DC to move them to fully on raw food. So right now I just started giving both of my dogs this stuff. It's a 5-in-1. It's hip and joint, urinary tract, immune system, skin health, and heart health. So I give them these every morning. He gets 3 and she gets 2. Then for dinner now, they're getting a little bit of chicken liver, even though they won't eat it, so I had to stop that for a little bit. But they get it. I give them an egg every day too. Trying to get these guys eating healthier. Oh, monster. And Matt Rogers is gonna help me give them. Okay, I know you heard the treat bag, so now I gotta give him something. Spoiled brat. You just a spoiled brat. Matt Schaefer says hi, Donnie. Here's your treat. Panda. Panda. There you go, sweetheart. Take yours. There they go. Now they got their treats. Mike says, whoa, cocaine is a hell of a drug. I've never tried it, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. All right.
That's a dual meaning there. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's Chappelle's show. But number 2, cocaine is a hell of a drug. Scary but expensive. And then when you can't afford the cocaine, that's when you move to the meth.
Yeah.
Or to the...
Donnie Hope says you're the cutest drool monster, even though he doesn't drool that much. Only Mr. Bill says I feed the cheapest stuff I can to my cats. I used to be like that. I really did. I used to just only buy the cheap Walmart stuff for the dogs and my cat. But I'm trying to give them healthier food choices now, so. Mike Jones wants to make his own dog food. So I watched this thing on, and what this girl does is she bought this really expensive meat grinder. She puts the whole chicken in there with the bones. And she says the reason she puts the bones in there is because the calcium in the meat grinder grinds it up enough to where it won't hurt the dogs. So she puts that. She gives them eggs, chicken livers. There's all kinds of stuff. Sweet potatoes. They need sweet potatoes for, their veggies. All kinds of good stuff. Anyways. All right, guys. Well, we're going to let you go tonight. I hope you had a good night. And we'll check y'all later. Drunk Uncle's got to... Do I need to play this song for you on your outro, too? Wiki, 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 wiki. Maybe I'll have to... Maybe Drunk Uncle should record... You can record on your iPhone. You should record a sound you want. Send it to me, and I'll make that your intro and outro. Because we got this one. This is the one we got for AOC. This is the one we got for Whoopi Goldberg. So, let's see. I'm making new ones all the time now. This one stands for me and Drunk Uncle. I don't know if you heard this one yet or not.
Hey, don't knock masturbation. It's sex with someone I love.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Don't mess with masturbation.
Yeah, it took me a second to get it. I was like, wait a minute, what? Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you for the super chat, Denise. I'm surprised it didn't pop up. It's supposed to pop. This new program, I got to set it up to pop up, I guess. Thank you very much, Denise. Come here, Donnie. She wants to give you a hug. Donnie. Monster, we'll give you a new treat. We'll give you a treat, and then he'll come get... Oh, now it popped up. There it is. See, Denise Green donated $10 to super chat. Come here, Monster. Here, Panda. You get yours first. Donnie. Come here. Here. I gotta give you a hug from Denise. Nope, he just wants his treat. Alright, guys. Well, thank you, guys. Have a good night. Matt Rogers says 3 to 4% of the body weight in raw meats and bones is what I feed my dogs once a day. So Donnie's 150 pounds. So that's 6 pounds of chicken and food I gotta feed Donnie every day. Whoa. It's a lot. Alright, guys. Good night. Whoopi should be the fart.